So we know with price increases on ticket prices, food options, and added parking fees, it's getting more and more expensive to go to vacation to the most magical place on earth. Today, I'm breaking down exactly how much it costs to go to Disney World. Hey everybody, it's Brianna at Travel Dolce. Hope you're having a great week. If you are considering a trip to Walt Disney World or you just haven't been in a while, it's time to get down to business and see how much it's actually going to cost you. Now you know I've got tons of recommendations with cost savings, tips, and secrets here on this channel and also on my Disney Tips PDF, and I'll put the link down in the description box below. You'll just have to copy and paste it into your internet browser. But I want to share those with you today. Some of them even have cost savings, so be sure and check it out. So first things first, you're going to need to know exactly how much just getting your foot into Disney World is going to cost. So I'm going to break down every single cost for a hypothetical family of 4. You've got 2 adults, and then we're going to do a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old. And we're going to do 6 nights, the beginning of December, staying at Walt Disney World. Now remember, your prices may vary depending on where you're traveling from and the time of year you decide to go. And remember also, Disney has that date-based ticketing that is in effect. So that just means that they're going to price peak park days at higher rates. Hotel prices will vary on capacity and time of year, as well as other events happening during that time that you're traveling. And just keep that in mind as we go through this, but after running the numbers several times, this is what I've come up with. First, let's talk about airfare. I'm going to try and go through this like in the order that maybe you would book it. We always book our airfare tickets last just because we usually fly Southwest and they don't put out flight dates or itineraries as soon as some of the other airlines do. But let's talk airfare first. Now, of course, your airfare is going to be highly dependent on where you're traveling from and the time of year that you're traveling. The Orlando airport is one of the most highly trafficked airports in the United States, so you should have a pretty good set of options when it comes to airlines and arrival times, departure times, things like that. But typically, a round-trip ticket to and from Orlando is going to run you about $255 per person. That's a decently pricey ticket. So our family of 4 is going to spend about $1,000 on airfare. You can drive, which will likely save some money, but you'll want to figure in hotels, food, gas while you're on the road each way. And also more time to get there and more time to get home, so that's likely going to mean more days off work. But let's say our hypothetical family of 4 is going to make the flight to Orlando. That'll run about $1,000 total round trip. Don't forget to book early for the best deal. There are a ton of options for places to stay when you're visiting Disney World. The great debate is whether you stay on-site or off-site. Now, staying on-site means that you're usually staying at a Disney-owned hotel on Disney property. Staying off-site means that you're off Disney property at a separately owned hotel. The perks of staying off-site are usually more room for your money. Vacation rentals and condos are really great for larger groups and larger families and typically are much cheaper than trying to book several rooms on-site. Now, if you're staying on-site, you're primarily doing it for the convenience and the experience, plus those Disney perks. So all those perks that you get when staying on-site, things like free transportation on the Magical Express to and from the Orlando airport. You're going to get extended fast pass windows, extended availability when booking dining reservations. You're going to have package delivery right to your room. You get free transportation throughout the Disney parks when you're staying there. You're going to get extended park hours that are only reserved for those guests staying on property. And just that extra magical experience. You never have to leave the Disney bubble, and you get to stay in the magic the entire time. Plus, you're getting that level of Disney service that isn't guaranteed at other hotels. But remember, resort perks can be a waste of money if you aren't aware of them and don't utilize them. So keep your eyes out and know about them ahead of time. Be sure and utilize them to the best of your ability. And also, Disney really does run a lot of discounts. So if you are booking a Disney vacation package or a Disney hotel stay, be sure and ask your travel agent or keep your eyes out for those special offers, because a lot of them, usually all throughout the year, they have those discounts running. And you can go to the special offers section on the Disney website to see all the offers that are available. And remember, even if you've already booked and a new offer comes out, that offer can be applied to your reservation. All you have to do is call Disney and ask them to apply it. Now, keep in mind that they do typically only have certain number of rooms at each type of hotel, so value, moderate, and deluxe for those deals. So it won't always be the exact same resort if your resort isn't part of the deal or the rooms at your resort have already been booked for that reservation. So value resorts will run you about $150 to $200 a night, although the family suites over at Art of Animation can run you $350 to $500 per night. Moderate resorts, a little bit higher level, are going to run you about $200 to $350 a night. And deluxe resorts run about $400 to $600 a night, with some rooms going well over $2,000 a night. So Disney Vacation Club or DVC rooms or villas start around $400 a night and go well over $5,000 a night. Now remember, just because you're not a DVC member doesn't mean that you can't book these rooms or villas. You most certainly can as a regular hotel guest. Now, obviously, there are a ton of options. I mean, we've talked about just the tip of the iceberg here. But let's say our 4-person family is going to go for a garden view room at Port Orleans Riverside, a moderate resort. This garden view room is going to run them about $283 per night for a total of $1,696, bringing their grand total to $2,696. Okay, let's talk tickets. So single park tickets start at $109 per day. Now this is the cheapest, but it also locks you into set plans. So if you've made all your fast pass arrangements and locked in all of your advanced dining reservations, or ADRs as we like to call them, you might be fine, and you know you're going to the Magic Kingdom on that day, so you'll just buy a 1 park per day ticket. That's great. Park hoppers start at $169 per day, and this means you can effectively hop from park to park throughout the day. So you can hit rope drop in one park and then move to a less crowded park. It's much more spontaneous. Also, you can use the park hopper to spread out your dining reservations, so you're not locked into staying in that one park all day and only dining at those restaurants. We love the park hopper option because we typically will hit rope drop and then spend a good portion of the day at a park and then go back to our resort or hotel room and just have a little bit of downtime, rest, freshen up a little bit, maybe do some swimming if we have a longer break. But the park hopper just gives us the flexibility we need, because then typically what we'll do is get ready again and then head back out for our evening dining reservation and fireworks viewing. So that doesn't necessarily have to be at the same park that we were at during the morning time, and it just gives us the flexibility we need to see everything we want to see and hit all the fireworks shows, and it just makes making those advanced dining reservations a little bit easier too, because if all those ADRs fill up in one park and you only have a ticket to that park, now obviously there's other options at resorts and Disney Springs areas that you don't need a park ticket to get into, but it just makes it so convenient to not have to worry about which day you're in which park to figure out where you're going to eat and all that. So we love the park hopper option. The Park Hopper Plus gives you access to all 4 theme parks and also both of the water parks. Disney also has the new water park and sports option. With this ticket, you can visit one theme park per day, so it's not like the Park Hopper or Park Hopper Plus, but just one theme park per day, plus a certain number of visits to a water park or a sports related something like the ESPN zone or the NBA experience, those things. So if you're interested in that, read the details on their website, but still the Park Hopper is my favorite. And of course, there's the annual pass. The annual pass will allow you access to any park on any day minus your blockout dates. The blockout dates depend on which pass you pick. The Platinum Pass is currently $1,195 for out-of-state residents and $899 for Florida residents. We saw an increase again this year for the annual passes. Price increases typically happen in that February timeframe. So if you're thinking of getting an annual pass, be sure you do it early in the year. I suggest January before they hike up those prices. And remember, the annual pass will get you discounts on hotel rooms, food, and merchandise, as well as free memory maker for the pass holder. Now remember, the memory maker, only one person in your group needs to have the memory maker for everyone to benefit. Just make sure everyone's around to have their picture taken to get the full benefit of that. So our family of 4 has decided to add 4 5-day Park Hopper passes to their package for $2,625.53. So this brings their trip total to $5,321.53. Okay, moving on to food. Now, food costs can add up very, very quickly. And the great debate here is always whether or not the Disney dining plans are worth the money or not, or you should just pay out of pocket for all of your meals and snacks. And honestly, it really, really just depends how much food your family is going to consume and how much you think you're going to eat and how many snacks you think you're going to get. Because 2 snacks per person per day is quite a lot, but then you don't want to be nickeled and dimed to death when your kids see the fancy cupcakes and want them. So just keep that in mind and try and budget how much you think you would spend for food. And if it doesn't work out with the dining plan, or if it's less than the dining plan, then you know to go that route. One thing I will say, if you're planning to do a lot of character meals or character dining experiences, I really do think the dining plan is worth it for that. Also remember that you can have groceries delivered to your hotel, either Amazon Prime or Instacart, or I'm sure there's lots of other apps that will do grocery delivery. So this can potentially help save on food costs for those breakfast items and snacks if you're going to carry snacks with you in the parks, and I highly recommend you do if you have children, and maybe even if you don't, because standing in those long queue lines and getting hungry is about the worst thing. So just remember that those grocery deliveries really can help save on food costs. But if, again, how many times do you want to tell your kid no when they're asking for the fancy Disney treats? And that is kind of part of the magic of Disney World, is having that experience of eating all the yummy snacks. There are over 400 restaurants on Disney property. These range from very extremely high cost to low cost. And those dining experiences with the characters, like I said, can really add up quickly. So if you're thinking about that, or at least one sit-down meal per day, I really do recommend the dining plan. Our family of 4 is comparing the out-of-pocket costs for meals versus the Disney dining plan. They are intending to eat 1 sit-down meal per day or character meal, and 1 quick service meal per day, and 2 snacks per person per day. So that all plus drinks, they will get the refillable mug included in the dining plan, and also drinks included with their meals on the dining plan. After our family of 4 has weighed out the options, they've decided to go with a traditional Disney dining plan, and they've added that to their package for $1,587.04, and that brings their grand trip total now to $6,908.57. So now we have to talk about those extras. We're talking about hard ticketed events, dining experiences, activities that you might want to do. Some are a small fee, but they can certainly add up quickly. So don't think of them as an afterthought. Now, if you're planning a short trip, an after-hours event can be really beneficial because it gives you exclusive access to those parks with minimal, and by minimal, I mean really, really short wait times for those big ticket attractions. You're going to be able to ride those big ticket attractions multiple times in one night. So it is really, really worth it to look into those after hours events if you're only going to be there for a short time and worried about getting in a lot of those rides. And you don't have to worry about fast passes, reservations, or snacks because a lot of those things are included in the extra ticket price for those after hours events. Since our family of four saved a little bit of money staying at a moderately priced resort, they've decided on an extra. They are going to attend Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party since they're going the beginning of December. The party they're attending costs $109 for ages 10 and up, and then $104 for ages 3 to 9. That brings their party total to $431 and their trip total to $7,339.57. Now remember, this total includes airfare. We've got their hotel in there, their tickets, their food, and one extra. All right, let's talk hidden costs. So there are some hidden costs that Disney doesn't tell you about when you're trying to figure out how much to budget for your trip. It's really hard to see some of these extra little hidden costs in there. So I want to point them out to you so you are well aware. First, I mentioned it earlier, but let's talk about date-based ticketing. So the time of year and the length of your stay can really, really impact your ticket price. So if you can see here, if you're looking to get the best deal, try booking during the value season rather than during the holidays or the summer or peak season. The next hidden cost is parking fees. So if you plan to bring a car to Disney World and park it at your resort, you will be charged a parking fee. It's $15 per day at a value resort, $20 per day at a moderate resort, and $25 per day at a deluxe resort. Now, our family of four didn't drive, so they've saved $120 in parking fees. Those flights were pretty pricey, but at least they didn't have to pay for parking. And also, they are solely relying on the complimentary Disney transportation to get them around the Disney property, which sometimes can eat up some of their time, but just plan it well and try and figure out the fastest route to get there, and they should be fine. The next hidden cost is an upgraded room view. You just have to decide if it is worth it to you. And room view and location, let's talk about both. So it can totally be worth it if you're staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge, for instance, and want a view of the savannah so you can see all the animals roaming around out there. Or if you're at the Contemporary and you want a theme park view room so you can see those Magic Kingdom fireworks every night, that's really magical. Also, if you're just stopping back at your resort midday, you want to take that into consideration. You may not want a super long bus ride or a long walk from the bus stop. Some of those resorts get pretty big and sprawling and even have several bus stops at that single resort. So just keep that in mind. You can make requests on your reservation, on your Disney reservation, but if you want those upgrades, you're probably going to have to pay for them. Proximity to the lobby is also another thing to take into consideration. It is convenient to be closer to the lobby and the food and transportation and such, but it can be a little bit more noisy. So our family of four wants to save as much money as possible, so they are fine with their standard garden view room over at Port Orleans Riverside, even if that means they have to walk a little bit further to get to food and transportation. Another hidden cost is dining plan gratuities. Gratuities are actually not included in any of the Disney dining plans, so that will be something that you need to allot for if you do go with the dining plan. Now, our family of four probably should budget around $165 for gratuities for their trip for dining. The next hidden cost is gratuities not associated with dining. So things for like valet, room service, housekeeping, ride shares, taxis, things like that, that you would typically tip for. So for luggage handling, we figure $2 to $3 per bag. For housekeeping, $1 per person per day. For valet, $2 to $5, and 15 to 20% per day for transportation. So our family of 4 is budgeting an additional $40 in other gratuities. The next hidden cost is Memory Maker, and I don't know how hidden this actually is. I always very specifically explain it to all of my customers and clients, but basically it's a way that you can access all those photos and videos from the rides that were taken in the parks and on the rides. You'll have access to download all those photos after you return from your vacation. Now, you can always ask the cast member, like at character meet and greets and whatever, to take a picture with your iPhone if you all want to be in the picture, or any phone, not just an iPhone, but with your camera even, they'll take a picture. But to have, just for convenience sake, to have that, and plus you're going to get all those ride videos that are super cool. I've incorporated some of those into some of my other Disney videos I'm sure you guys have seen, but they're just super cool and great memories, and it's great to have them electronic so you can print as many copies as you want to. So I do recommend Memory Maker. I'm really, really glad we had it for when we took the boys and our whole big family. So our family of 4 has decided to add Memory Maker for $169. So let's break down our final amount. We have round trip flights for 4 at $1,000. We have 6 nights at Port Orleans Riverside in a Garden View room for $1,696. We have 5-day park hopper tickets for everyone in the group, and that comes to $2,625.53. We added the Disney dining plan for $1,587.04. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party for 4 people came to $431. Gratuities come to $205, and that includes dining and other gratuities. And then Memory Maker for $169. This brings their trip total to $7,713.57. There's really no getting around it. Disney is expensive, but there are ways to make it more affordable. We've got several of those tips right here on this channel and in the PDF that I mentioned earlier, so be sure and copy and paste that link into your internet browser for that PDF. So if you're curious, let's just go ahead and price out a value resort for comparison's sake. So if we do the same family of 4 and put them at Pop Century instead of Port Orleans Riverside for the same time frame and keep everything else the same, their package price, including their room, park hopper tickets, Disney dining plan, and Memory Maker, comes to $5,443.07. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is still the same at $431. We'll keep gratuities and airfare both the same at $205 and $1,000 respectively, and that would bring their grand total to $7,079.07. So they saved about $700 by switching to a value resort. And Pop Century may be a super great option for our family of 4 because it has recently been renovated, and I think they're currently renovating the Hippy Dippy pool there. So they'll have a nice new fresh pool outside exterior as well. And the Pop Century Resort is also on a Skyliner, so that gives them a new, fun, exciting way to access the Disney parks and get around Walt Disney World. So that's my price breakdown for Walt Disney World. Please let me know how this jives with what you guys have experienced if you've been. Prices always go up at Disney. They just do. It seems like every year there's a slight price increase, which over time can definitely really add up, especially if you're taking a larger family. You'll definitely notice that small price increase to each person's ticket and each person's room stay and each person's food. So, But anyway, if you guys have any money saving tips, please drop them in the comments below. I'm sure everyone would love to hear about them and share, and we can all learn from each other. If you guys found this information helpful, please subscribe. It helps me so much, and ring that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time I upload. I post new videos every single Thursday at 10 a.m. Central Time, so be on the lookout for those. And I'll post on all of my social media accounts when those videos go live, and I'll put them up on the screen here as well as in the description box below. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you have an excellent weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye.